Today I want to talk about cultivating feminine energy as a rational woman. So you might be the kind of woman who looks at all these feminine energy kind of people that are rolling around on the beach in lingerie or orgasming in a bathtub or dancing and bleeding naked in the forest, and you're like, that's not me. If that is what feminine energy looks like, then I don't have it. In this video, I want to share about how you do have it and how you can cultivate it and grow it, even if you have a corporate job, even if you don't have that kind of lifestyle at all. And I want to start with translating a few words that might make you feel alienated or confused about what people are actually talking about. First one is feminine energy itself. What that basically means is being connected to the body, being connected to the physical realm. Then Shakti. Shakti is the feminine aspect of the divine in tantric philosophy, and that basically also means the physical realm, energy and matter, the things that we can feel, that we can experience. Womb wisdom. So that is basically your lower belly knowing, your gut feeling, that deep intuitive knowing that you have in your belly. Your yoni. So your yoni is simply your vulva, your vagina, and your uterus. And this is a Sanskrit word that means a female genitalia, but it also means the source of the universe and sacred space. Tantra. Tantra is an esoteric, mystical current in both Hinduism and Buddhism. And what sets it apart from other traditions is that it is very body-based. It's very much focused on the physical reality, the physical human experience. And they believe that that is a portal to the divine. Sexual awakening. Sexual awakening is basically learning to consciously connect with your turn on and with the sensations of pleasure, and then letting that grow stronger and stronger so that it starts to ripple into your entire life and everything becomes more colorful and vibrant. Sensuality. Being sensual basically means being in connection with sensory input. If there are other words like this that you're like, what do they mean when they say that? Then drop it in the comments and I'll see if I can give you a down-to-earth translation for that. So now I want to mention 5 ways in which you can start cultivating feminine energy as a rational woman. The first one is embodiment. Like I said earlier, feminine energy is basically being very present in your physical form and with your physical reality. And that means being very present in your body and being present with the present moment that you are in. And this sounds easy, but our society is so conceptual and so mental that it actually is really hard to just be in the body. And this is where your feminine energy lives. So if you are constantly in the mind and in the conceptual realm, it's really hard to connect with your feminine energy. Ways to do this are, for example, movement like conscious walking or yoga. It could also be mindfulness or meditation, where you are becoming very aware of the present moment that you are in. The most important is that you drop out of your mind. So even when you are moving or gymming or exercising, but you are so in your mind, so thinking, then you are still not really connecting with your feminine energy. So what you want to do while you are gymming or exercising is to feel like what is happening in your body. How are you breathing? Are you feeling your hands, your feet, the movement that you are making, the heat that you're building? If you become aware of that and you connect with that, you become embodied. The main thing here is to slow down and drop in. So as a mental, rational person, you probably live a lot like this way. You live in the mind, you live forward, you live outwards. And feminine energy lives in backwards and downwards. So slowing down, dropping in, sort of more surrendered backwards kind of state where you receive the present moment instead of like actively engaging or judging it. The second thing I want to suggest is a continuation of the first one, and that is growing your sensitivity. So if you become embodied, you naturally grow more sensitive to the sensory output, the sensual experience of the present moment. You start to hear more, you start to see more, you start to feel more because you are actually there. And this growing sensitivity in your body is actually the birthplace of more pleasure, of your sexual awakening and even of a bliss state. So you want to cultivate that, like grow your sensual sensitivity. So really listening when you listen to beautiful music, really tasting when you are eating your food, really smelling a flower, really like consciously experience that, grow your sensitivity. And as you do, you'll find that the amount of pleasure that you can experience from simple daily things just start growing. So this is basically a practice of mindfulness where you, for example, eat more slowly or consciously put on music and take some time to really receive the sounds, or as you're outside to really look around so that you become sensually more activated, basically. And this flows into the third point. So what I just said is about the body, like becoming sensitive in the body, becoming aware and embracing all the sensual experiences. The third point is about doing the same, but with your emotions. So you cannot be selectively open and alive. If you want to experience the pleasure, the joy, the aliveness, you have to also embrace the icky, hard, tense feelings that you experience in your body. You cannot ignore that. So you have to find a way to make space for all these feelings and all these emotions to pass through. And this can be a weird thing to do at first because you're like, I don't even know how to do that. So I'm going to give you some ways that you can try this and see how it goes. Set a timer or find a guided meditation where you are able to connect with what's alive in you and to express that. So there are like meditations from Tara Brach, for example, are incredible to just feel and then express it physically or with sound. And it's a 10-minute thing maximum. So it is nicely contained. You're not gonna get lost in the feelings because you don't want to do that, right? The same, if you feel like you can by yourself, then you can set a timer for 10 minutes, feel into that uncomfortable emotion, and let your body, let your voice, let your tears express it so that it can move on. If this feels too difficult, then I suggest starting with journaling. So this is a really cool way to get a bit more familiar and intimate with your feelings. So what you do is you just journal, but journal from the emotion. So you connect with that feeling and then you let that write. And you don't filter. Don't even think about that somebody else is going to read this. You could even literally burn the page after you wrote about it. You just want to give open, compassionate space for the expression of that feeling. If these two options feel too difficult or too overwhelming, then it might really serve you to join a group course or find a coach or a therapist to hold space for you. If the feelings are too big for you to connect with, then it literally is unsafe for your nervous system to go into them by yourself. So seek help. Like, we all need it. I think we all need a therapist. So don't worry about that. The fourth point is sort of a natural consequence of these previous points, and that is to make space for and connect with pleasure. So pleasure is basically enjoyment, goodness, feeling something nice. All of this is a consequence of that growing sensitivity, being able to truly let in the present moment through your senses and then figuring out what feels good. This is such a cool project for you because you're going to explore what feels good to you, what can you truly enjoy, what gives you that sense of and then once you find that thing that gives you pleasure, that makes you enjoy the moment, get more of that. Like, cultivate that. Give more of that to yourself so that you charge your body with this pleasure, with this energy of goodness, which literally is so healthy for you. It makes you feel more confident, makes you feel more alive, makes you feel more inspired. And then it's just an upward spiral. So I'm going to give you some examples to try and play around and see what makes you feel pleasure. First of all, get some beautiful oil and massage your body. Like massage your hands, massage your feet, massage your own shoulders, and find a touch that just feels good to you and enjoy that. Another thing you can try is buy fruits that you love and spend time savoring it, eating it very slowly, becoming very aware of the taste, of the texture, and then practicing really enjoying that. And this is a practice. That's why I say practice, because we never learn this. We never learn to really slowly enjoy something. So it might take some time to cultivate this ability. And the final thing is conscious self-pleasure or masturbation. So taking time to be with yourself as you self-pleasure, to not make it something where you are either in your mind or you are distracting yourself, but that you are present with yourself. You're consciously taking in the sensations of this pleasure, of this touch, to breathe with it, to not rush through it. The more you do all of this, the more you're going to be able to find pleasure in the most random little daily things, because you are turned on, like you're switched on, so you can experience beauty and enjoyment in things that you would normally not even notice. And that is feminine energy, this deep, embodied intimacy with reality. So the question for you is, what do you enjoy? And how can you create more of that? And how can you enjoy it even deeper? The fifth and final point is embracing and loving your physical form. So just like with emotions, you cannot be selective about which ones you embrace and then getting rid of the other ones. It doesn't work like that. You need to embrace all of them. The same with the body. You need to embrace the parts of you that you will normally struggle to love, that you might feel shame around or judgment around. But when you learn to embrace these parts and love them, then you can only truly become embodied and drop into your form. Because if you hate parts of yourself, judge parts of yourself, you don't want to be there. You are more inclined to live in the mental realm. But if you embrace parts of your body and you go, oh, this is also so beautiful, then you are more inclined to be in it. For women, this is a huge journey because we've experienced so much judgment around our female parts, like our breasts, our vulva, our bleed, all these things that have such a societal layer of shame to them, right? So ways to do this are, first of all, sisterhood. And this might be quite like scary for you if you've never done that. And I get that, because it is scary to sit in a circle with other women that you don't know. But the truth is that when you gather with women and you share about these things and you learn that everybody feels the same, because they do, then your shame cannot survive. Two other ways to become really familiar with your body and cultivate love for it is either mirror work. So becoming visually familiar with your body, knowing how you look like from every angle, every part of you. So you take away the mystery and you claim it as yours. You're like, this is my body, this is how it looks. And that's how it is. And that's how I love it. The other thing is self-massage. So to touch your body everywhere, also in places that you normally wouldn't touch, to claim it as yours. So I hope that these 5 points have given you some clarity and a starting point to start creating feminine energy for yourself, and that it doesn't feel as woo-woo or spiritual anymore, but that you're like, oh, wait, I can actually do this. I can actually cultivate feminine energy today. Thanks for watching today's video, and I'll see you soon.